Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Real Estate Uncensored. God, I love this fucking show. You know what? I have an amazing show. Alyssa and I shot this last week. We are unable to air it due to technical difficulties. We have been working on a way to get it back out onto the air. But here it is. Alyssa has got some amazing thoughts. Alyssa, give me some of your thoughts in regards to this show.
Well, I mean, I don't know about they're amazing, but I think that Lisa B was super inspirational. Great show for one of our first shows this year. Before we maybe start coming in at a later time, this is going to be a great show. She is such a testament to following your dreams, living outside the box, thinking outside the box. She went to Africa to start her real estate team. And you think to yourself, who does this, but it's about dreaming bigger, living a bigger life in 2024. So I think everyone's going to really love Lisa B.
Yeah, well, that's the way you live life. That's the way Lisa lives life. That's the way we should all live life. So let's do this. Let's not keep the audience waiting. Let's get the show started. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's our show from last week. Enjoy the awesome content. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Estate Uncensored. We have an amazing show today. I am so excited to have one of my best friends, an incredible real estate agent. She's written 7, 8, 10, 15, 100 books. I mean, this woman is a master of business and real estate. She's an insanely, just awesome human being. Miss Lisa B is going to join us in a second. She's coming out of Australia. She is a kayaker, and she's a water fanatic. She had a travesty happen to her property over the holidays. She'll talk about that on air. But before we get to Lisa, I got to get to my best, beautiful, incredible co-host, Miss Alyssa Glutz. How are you, my friend?
Me? Oh, me?
You.
Hi. Hey, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for having me. And I'm so excited to talk to this queen. It's the only name for Lisa B. Is the queen of EXP. Yeah, I can say that.
You can say that. Yeah.
I've been reading about it today. I've been practicing my Australian accent while reading about Lisa. So I'm not much better, but I do know a little bit more about you, and I'm excited to learn from you. And let's just launch in. I want to know. Just talk to us a little bit, Lisa. First of all, let's start with this. Talk about what happened over the holiday. What happened? Where you live? Your disastrous situation?
Yeah, I was on holidays over in India, and there was a tornado in our area, which we don't have tornadoes. Like, as far as I've lived in it for a long time, we just don't have them here. Anyway, so yeah, there was a lot of damage and trees down and power out for a long time, and some people still got power out from Christmas Day. So when I was away, I kind of blocked it out because I didn't know what had happened to the property and everything. And I came back, and we've got a fair bit of damage, but nothing compared to the other people around here. But just the natural weather and all of that sort of thing. It was quite scary. Apparently, everybody was absolutely terrified. But I missed it all because I was in India.
India weather, not bad, right? Not too rough where you were.
It's really warm but really cold at night. Yeah, where we were. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, we all know we've got a big week coming. It's going to be freezing, and 90% of the U.S. is going to be freezing Monday and Tuesday. We're going to hit that freezing level. So, it's going to be fun just for a few days, right? But I think that with, so talk to us, Lisa, and tell us about you're an amazing leader, and you've been building this team, now you've grown out into India. And so I'd love to hear about why you are passionate about India, and what are kind of some of the effective strategies you use to start all this and grow your team.
Well, being part of this company, the EXP, it just opens your mind to a lot of other possibilities. And so what happened, my friend who lives in London said, why don't we go on holidays to India? And I was like, I'd never go to India. She goes, that's why we need to go. I'm like, all right, yeah, fair enough. I wouldn't go myself. Okay, fair enough. And so anyway, that started, okay, well, EXP's in India. What opportunities have I got in India? What can I do over there to make a difference and build a business over there? And we've got quite a big Indian community here in Australia as well. So I thought, well, why don't I set up like a focus group of Indian opportunities? So that's what we did. And so out of that came a lot of, yes, I'd be interested. So then I went to India, and I just got back 7 days ago, had the best holiday of my life. Like, it was insane, absolutely the best holiday. And I got to meet the people, I got to see the culture, and that's why I wanted to go there too, so I can understand the business, I can understand the real estate agents, I can understand what they need, I can understand how we can make a difference. And there's such a huge market over there. And so going over there was just absolutely cemented my thoughts on our business plan to help so many agents over there. Head of country there, Shashank, is just beautiful, such a beautiful man. Got to meet him and a lot of the other agents over there as well. So really it was just, who can we help? How, we're part of this company. Why not? We're not just a demographic. We're not just a local business. I can go the whole of Australia. I can go the whole of the 24 countries that we're in. So why not? Why stay in my postcode? So I love business. I love talking about business. I love business models. So to me, it's like, well, how can we actually get more depth to this? You've got a business model which is, this thick, but you can grow it so more, like, wide and deep in all different ways. So to me, I just love getting my mind thinking around business and what else we can do. We've done that. What else can we do? We've done that. What else can we do?
All right, so I want to go deeper a little bit on that one real quickly, because when it comes to building businesses deeper, longer, outside of your postcode, we say, zip code here, but postcode in Australia, same difference, right? But the point is, it's not local, it's global in regards to the ability with technology and the internet, and with EXP, with all these different companies, right? Amazon is not sitting in California. They are global. So why can't we grow, and how can we grow our businesses in real estate and mortgage and insurance, fill in the blank on whatever you want to do, car sales, knock your kitten socks off and figure out what it is. But you have found in a unique way to grow your business because you have such a dynamic personality that people are drawn to. You've written multiple books. You're an international speaker. I mean, you lead a large team, the largest in Australia with EXP. And so walk me, and I really want to understand this, and that's not a joke. I really want to understand your mindset, because most people think, well, I have to sell a couple houses here and a couple houses there, and I can buy my pair of shoes, and I can go on my trip to Paris and blah, blah, blah. But you're like, nah, bro, I'm a boss bitch. Like, let's go.
I'm staying up here. Yeah.
How did you go? And I'm not criticizing nor putting you into a pillar. I'm just saying, for the people listening, how did a wonderful, intelligent woman say, okay, I sell real estate, then I'm a business owner, then I'm an author multiple times over. Now you're internationally growing your business. How did that mindset happen?
Well, okay, so I haven't listed and sold for quite some time, but I've been in real estate for 30 years, had my own real estate brokerages, with lots of staff and things like that, 14 staff and all of that sort of thing. And then I read the book, The 4-Hour Workweek, 15 years ago, and I was like, okay, that's what I want. So everything has always been around, I want to be able to work from wherever I am, and that's always been my mantra. And so when EXP came along, that fitted into that, obviously. So but I also want to say, up until February last year, I was playing small, right? I was really, in EXP here, I was, I'm a real estate coach and trainer and doing my online courses and all that sort of stuff. But I was just kind of doing what I had to do, or, I don't know, I guess I just felt like it was just me, it was just me in my business. And then I went in February last year, I went, you know what, I've got to put my better business hat on. I'm better than this. I know more than this. I can do more than this. So why wouldn't I, So February last year, really, I went went, put my business hat on. And that's just the only way I can describe it is I'm putting my business hat on. And so then from that minute on, I was just like, what other opportunities are there? And that's all I look for is opportunities. Opportunities to grow, opportunities to help other people, opportunities to, just to grow bigger, to not play small, and I'm just sick of playing small. So now it's like, why not go worldwide then? You know what I mean? Why not?
So let's talk about the mindset that you had about seeing opportunities. A lot of folks that we walk through life, and I had a conversation with a buddy of mine, probably like 15, 20 years ago, if not more. We're sitting at a bar, right? And he was a nefarious individual, let's put it that way. And he grew flowers, aka weed. Now that it's legal, I can say it. And so I've known him since like junior high, right?
Yeah.
And so I was talking to him, and he said, I bought him a beer, and we're talking. And he's like, Greg, you have to understand something about life. And I'm like, okay, what exactly would this piece of knowledge be? And he says, you have to look above you, and you have to understand there's hundreds of thousands of dollars flying above your head right now. All you have to do is learn how to reach out and grab some. And so when I heard that, it goes back to what I'm hearing coming out of your mouth, that people need to understand the money is all around them. They just haven't seen it yet. It's like if you want to buy a red car and you have a blue car, all of a sudden you see red cars, not blue cars. So how did you see this international shift, and how did you capitalize on that?
Well, like I said, it's filling in the gaps or looking for similarities and looking for ways that you can tap into what you already have, the resources you already have. So, I'm going to India. That's one. We're in India. That's two. We've got an Indian community here in Australia of about 20, 25, 30 agents, something like that. So that's my base. So, okay, what can I do with that? So then from that, I can sort of tell you my ideas if you like. I've got sort of like a bit of a point form about what I do.
Yeah, love it.
Do it.
Okay.
Love ideas.
So the first thing I did was research, so I was like, okay, what are they actually doing over there? What's real estate like? What are the numbers? How many real estate agents are there? What are going to be our challenges, because it's actually, there's a lot of education that needs to be involved over there too, which we're prepared for. We know that. So there's a lot of education that needs to happen. And so we're going to be doing that. So then investigating. So me investigating, going there, I can research all I like from my computer, but going there really cemented it to me. It's like, I need to meet the people. I need to understand the culture, which I do now, from sitting, from families and communities sitting there all with their arms around each other, sitting on the street like we used to 20 years ago. That's what they do over there now. It's very big about community and things like that. So that's just one little aspect of the culture that I got to learn. Planning. So then go, okay, what's the plan? What's the business plan? And sort of writing that all out. And then it's the right people. So obviously, we've got our agents here. And then one of our agents here that lived in Australia said, look, I'm really committed to this. I'm moving back to India and I'm setting up this whole, so he's got a chartered accountant business. So we've got like a whole lot of other different businesses there that we're going to sort of tap into. So he's going to help people buy from India to Australia and from Australia to India. So then therefore that opens up our buyer's agents capabilities here of people moving from India to here and vice versa. So, all of that sort of thing as well, just the opportunities there. So the right people. So Pradeep moved his family to India and is setting up a business and is focused on this and is absolutely blitzing it. And he's an agent as well. So he's actually said to me, it's booming over there. It's absolutely phenomenal. So that's one person I've got there. Greg, you were going to say something?
Well, what I'm saying is which is so important, which you glossed over because it's not something that you think about, but you're so smart about this stuff. I understand that thought pattern, but you actually looked into where the predictive future business is coming from, and you went to that location and you're starting to build relationships. That is something that a lot of people never ever really look at, because they see something like, oh my God, someone bought a house here, someone sold a house here, but you're not looking at where they're going or where they came from. You can bring business in on multiple different realms like you're building right now, because you're like, okay, I have a large Indian population, or I could have a large Hispanic, Asian, white, Black, pick the nationality, right?
Exactly.
In the community.
Yep.
And where are they coming from? Where are they going? How can I assist them? And you have executed on that masterfully.
Yes,
That's
exactly. And then the other right person, I've got Barry, who's from Victoria here. He's a Caucasian man, but interested in India, loves the Indian community as well. He's over in India right now. So I got back and he flew over there 3 days later. And you know what else it shows to them? That we're committed. We're not just sitting here going, oh, we want to grow a team. We're actually committed. We got on a bloody plane and flew all the way to India to meet agents, to meet the head of country, to understand the culture. Exactly. We've invested in it. So, so Barry and Pradeep are just amazing, and they're just as committed as what I am. Pradeep even more. So he moved his whole family back there to do this. And then we've got our amazing agents in South Australia and Queensland and Victoria who are the Indian community as well. So, they see massive possibilities as well, being able to, cross-sell and migration and lots of other things that can tap onto that as well. So that's another thing. So then the setup, everything that we're setting up as far as training goes and all that sort of thing as well. So we're working on that. Marketing, so we're really starting to market the Indian component as well. To give you an example, so there and there was this complex that was listed for sale, and it virtually sold out in a couple of hours. One person bought 14 properties, individually. So there's a lot of money there. There's a lot of people with money that want to spend money. So that the market is very active, and we need to attract more of the right people. So whether those the Indian component is in whatever country, I don't care if they're in America, they're in Canada, they're in, where they are. We want to attract those people as well to be able to grow more internationally from that Indian base, Australian, Indian, America, wherever they are, New Zealand, I don't care where they are. We want to attract more of those people and build those businesses and help the Indian community. And you know what? You can't go to India and then come back the same person. We went to a slum where there's 86,000 people that are living without water, sewage, food, just absolutely heartbreaking. And so from that, we're doing a thing of giving back and all that sort of stuff as well. But, there's that side of India where there's the absolute poverty, and then there's absolute rich. We had tea with the Maharaja, after we stayed in this palace.
Seriously?
So we absolutely. It was insane.
Do you do much with social media, Lisa, as far as documenting not only TikTok's my favorite place to go if I'm just like, what's it like to live in Charlotte? You can just go to TikTok, put in Charlotte. Next thing you know, you're seeing not only, the everything, what it looks like to live there, but man, would I follow you if you were like, let me show you what it looks like to buy a home in India. If you're thinking of moving here or whatever the case, just to get it,
that's exactly what we're doing. I've focused a lot of my attention on Facebook, and that's worked really well for me. But I'm just starting to focus a lot more on Instagram now. So sort of the last 2 weeks, I've started to focus on that. And there's a couple of different reasons, but I'm really focusing on that. So I'm more like putting a team. I'm not listing and selling anymore, but I will be showcasing a lot of our agents and definitely doing a lot of interviews in India and Indian market, and helping our agents cross-sell from India to Australia and all that sort of thing. But I think the other thing is you've got to stay enthusiastic. A lot of people bring in team members and don't actually, sort of think about the big picture of that, so you've got to stay enthusiastic. And, I'm very much about trying to help my agents build their team, and I'm setting up a whole lot of, sort of back end things for that, for them to be able to grow their team as well. So, when you bring people in, stay enthusiastic, stay connected with them and try and help them and all that sort of thing. And then the other thing is have plans bigger than yourself. I think that's the most exciting thing. And that's what I find, a lot of agents that come into EXP, they're in a demographic postcode now, or sorry, what is zip code, and that's where they've got their business. And it's like, you know, you can only grow so much. You're a fish in a bowl. You're only going to grow so much. That's how much they grow.
Let's talk about the fish in the bowl here for half a second, right? Now, listen, I want to get your point of view on this. I think that's a really, really good point, Lisa, because a lot of us, we stay in our lane because we've been told to stay in our lane, and that's what the status quo is. You have stepped out of the status quo, and you're building a business exponentially based upon that, because what you're really trying to do is you're bringing happiness, joy, fulfillment. You're bringing business satisfaction to different folks around the world, around the globe, based upon your knowledge, because you are an incredibly intelligent woman who is very connected, and you're out there giving time, giving grace, giving your knowledge to these folks who, you know, and this is why this podcast exists, because I want to entertain, inspire, and educate people. And that's exactly what you're doing on these travels, and that's why you're expanding internationally. Alyssa, you know, as a mortgage broker, you know, when you hear this, you know, the folks who aren't watching, she's nodding her head a lot. She's agreeing. Alyssa's like, yeah, this is my jam, right?
I love it. Yeah.
So
it inspires me, you know, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm just thinking I'm all about this year, 2024, you know, to be the year that we walk into what we're really capable of. You know, what's that picture look like? Let's not die with potential. Because at the end of the day, you look at some people that have things and you go, but why not me? Why not me? And the only difference is that you step up and you say, me, I'll do it. I want it.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Can I say something about that? Because, you know, the other day I was out with some friends or whatever, and one of my agents messaged me, and I messaged them back, and she goes, "You're always working." And I said, "No, to me, it's not. I'm not working. It's fun. I love it. I'm okay doing this, you know." And it's like, you know, that saying, you're never going to be on your bed and wish that you worked harder, right? No, but you might be on your deathbed thinking, why didn't I do what I said I was going to do? I'm not going with regrets. If I've got potential to do something, and that's when I put my business hat on. If I've got potential to do something, I'm going to do it. Like, why wouldn't I? I don't want to be on my deathbed going.
Difference,
okay.
You know, between people who work every day and people who are literally doing what they were made for. They were made to do it. And when you feel that connection inside you, I will talk about your credit at 2 a.m. because it's what I was made for. I know it's where I ride shotgun with God. So I step up for that, you know. We all have that, Greg. Yeah. Right?
It's important to step up, and I had to break you guys up for half a second because I really resonate with this conversation. Last year I died. Physically, I died. I was dead. I came back, thank God. That's why I'm fucking here.
Yeah.
But
we lost you.
Hang on, your mic's off. Your mic's off.
Babe.
Your mic's off. Your mic's off.
Hear you. Oh, I lost him. I think he hit the mute. Oh, but you know, as we keep going, we'll wait for Greg. He'll figure it out. We'll come back. But I say this thing to people that I'm consulting all the time, like, don't die with potential. We put these limits on ourselves, and even in your brain, I'll get somebody, you know, that'll have a 400 credit score, and then they'll do something, you know, to get somebody on their credit, and it'll report one month, and they'll jump to 650, and they're like thrilled and think, okay, cool, we're done. And I'm like, no, we're gonna keep going. It goes all the way up to 800. Yeah. They're like, I'm just happy here. I haven't been here before. So it's like levels, you know. You got to allow yourself, like, but what if I dreamed bigger? But what if? Why not? And hearing you, I'm like, that's why I was excited, because I'm like, why not India? Like, you wouldn't even think about, you know, certain stuff wouldn't cross your brain, but why not? And then it allows other people to get permission to do what they're supposed to do when you do things like that.
That's right. You know? And it's exciting, you know, and good to have you back, Greg, you know?
Yeah, glad to be back.
We just know how to get rid of you. They're like, nope, stop.
when I saw the waving from the ladies going like, hey, we can't hear you. I'm like, gosh, dang it. Okay.
You were gone. But that's why it's great, the possibilities.
So what I was going to say about this really quickly, and when it comes to like the deathbed, Lisa, that you talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I died last year. I was dead, and I was in the hospital for 4 days.
Yeah.
Physically dead. And I've had a lot of conversations about this, and the stuff I've looked into, and when it comes back to going to regrets and so on and so forth, what if, and this is going to happen to every one of us, by the way, what if all the opportunities that you had in your life when you're laying in your deathbed come and stand next to you and say, I could have been bigger, but you didn't take action. And now I
Yeah,
have
that's
to
right.
die with you. And now,
Yeah.
if you really think about that comment, you're going to rethink how you take every day and every interaction in a different light. Because if you look at someone, boy, girl, whatever else, and you say, well, go screw yourself, or yeah, I'll help you. Those interactions are going to sit next to you on your deathbed. So what are you going to do with those life choices?
Yeah.
Are you going to stop the
that's right.
drinking, stop the smoking, stop the drugs? Are you going to start working out? Are you going to, put some more personal time into education? Where do you live on this?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And once you understand how important that is, because someone who literally came from death, I'll tell you, death is one of the most calming places you can ever go, but it's frightening because that's final. So let's not make this a final conversation. Let's make this an opportunity to think about how you can project your knowledge, your faith, your love, your intelligence onto another human being, build a business,
Yeah.
build a relationship. And so, ladies,
Step
I want
out
to
of
hear
what
from
you're
you
comfortable.
guys.
Yeah.
How would you interact with that? Lisa, where would you take that? And then I want to go over to Alyssa. I want to go first, and then Lisa, I want to go to you next.
So what I want to say is that, there's different people that work their butts off, never see their family. They're away at the office 7 days a week and they never see their family. I work my butt off, but I work from home. I've got my 16-year-old son. I see him every day. I take him to school. I pick him up. I take him on cool holidays like India. I'm still there for him. So I can still work my butt off. I can still achieve my goals. I can still, work towards my dream while I bring him with me. So it
Right.
doesn't have to be that, on your deathbed, I worked my butt off and I didn't see my family. That's a regret. Okay, I achieved all these things, but at the cost of my family or the cost of my friends or the cost of something else, my health or whatever. You've got to have that balance of you work your butt off, but you have holidays and you take care of yourself and you see your family and you do all of those things. That's important too. So on your deathbed, how did I rate? Those opportunities, not all of them you're going to take, but, the things that were your burning desire, did you make an effort? Did you actually, start to do that or not? And if you didn't, then that's bloody sad. And look at India. There's a caste system there. There's systems where you can't go into a different caste. You don't have the opportunities, whether you like it or not. You don't have the opportunities. We come from a country where you've got anything that you can achieve, anything you want to achieve. We don't do that. That's sad. That's really sad.
Gosh, that's such a good point. If we don't do it and we have that freedom to literally go do it, your friend you don't want to sing karaoke. What's the worst thing that could happen? You're horrible. I'm horrible. Get up on stage. You know what's the best thing that can happen? You're horrible. And it changes your whole mind.
Have fun.
But yeah, that is so true. We take for granted the things that we see other people that would do anything to have that kind of a freedom. And so you've got to step into it. You've got to you got to realize almost that it's almost like I always say, it's like a balance between knowing you're worth it, you're amazing, and you're going to be great, but you're also need to understand that you ain't shit, that you ain't, if you can stay that level, but also be focused on something, a life that's almost bigger than you. Almost like, oh my God, like embarrassed that you're would admit that you're dreaming that big. That's how big your dream should be. Like when you're
Yeah,
don't even want to talk
great.
about them with other people because you're nervous that other people will be like, "Wow, you really think you're going to be Madonna one day?" No, or whatever. They're going to win an Oscar, But why not? Why not just put it out there and see what happens if it's something you truly desire?
I agree. I absolutely agree. And you're going to get trolls. You're going to get people that are jealous. You're going to get all of that. Who cares? If you're not going to take advice from that person, then why would you take criticism? And that's been my mantra for a long time as well. Who cares what they say? Put yourself out there. And, I still like to do a few silly things. Like, Bjorn and I did this really silly video on Instagram yesterday. It was like, why? Because it's like not everything has to be serious. And sometimes you do things just to see, like, people are going to think about it and I don't care. So I'm kind of also saying I'm going to do this and I actually don't care what you think either. It's kind of like a bit of a lesson to do things and get the feedback, and some of it's not going to be nice, but that makes you stronger, so I try and do things like that a little bit too. It might sound silly, but I do. It's like it helps you build that muscle of not giving a hoot what other people think.
Well, it goes back when you were a kid, right? And you're trying to ride a bike, right? And you couldn't figure out how to ride a bike, but you kept trying. When you were a toddler, you didn't stop trying to walk. But in business, because you stood up, everyone's seen a kid, they stand up, they toddle around with their poop-filled diaper, and they sit down, they squash their butt right in the poop-filled diaper. I'm like, oh, that wasn't fun. But you know what? That's just a shitty situation. But every one of us have gone through a shitty situation in regards to trying to achieve a different level, right? And so what you're doing on international business growth, and I know Alyssa has a whole list of questions for you about how to grow this stuff, but I mean, I want people to understand that nothing easy is going to happen overnight, like we've talked about, but just fucking start, because you know what? We all walk. We all drive cars. I guarantee you, as a 3-year-old, you couldn't drive a car. But you know what? Now you can. Maybe you can drive a semi-truck. Maybe you can do even something bigger. Who knows? You drive a plane, drive a jumbo plane. But the thing is it took knowledge and time. And so, Alyssa, I want you to go through some questions on how Lisa is growing your international business, because it is daunting. Let's not take that off the table. It is daunting for that thought. But with the right steps, you can get it done. So, Alyssa, what's your first question for Lisa?
And as I get to this question, I know you want me to. It's so important. Like, Lisa, I see behind what you are doing and what you're doing to build is that you are pretty clear on your why, right?
Yeah.
And then once you got that why, then the how just happens. It just does. And so if you can be really clear about if this is something that you desire, or if it just inspires you to listen to the whispers in your heart and say, it's not India, but I've always wanted to be, live in Hawaii and sell beachfront, property, whatever it is, find out why. Why would you want to do that? And then wrap your head around that, because it's almost like owning a restaurant or anything else. You're going to really have to understand the passion behind it. If you can have the passion there, then the commitment's going to follow, and it's going to take a lot of commitment, but for you, for the strategies of your, can you kind of create, or can you share at least some insights into some of the cultural considerations as far as what you've, if you have people over in another country, maybe that have never been to India, and they're like, this speaks to me and I would like to come over with you and join you, but could I'm kind of sounding dumb here, but can I just show up in India, get a ticket and say, hey, I have my license. Can you walk me through the steps of staying here forever?
Yeah. It's a lot less restrictive over in India, but also too, we're very conscious of sort of attracting the right people to EXP as well. So we really want to get people who are, have some experience, if if that's possible, because that's obviously going to be easier for them. So people that have experience in real estate is really kind of the people that we're looking for.
And then we can. Does it matter? How many years? How many years of experience would you prefer?
Well, me, I mean, at least if they've listed and sold it, but that's also up to Shashank, the head of country, as well. He's also going to talk to different people and see whether or not he thinks they're a good fit too. So together we sign a, so we sort of go, are they a good fit? We've also spoken to a lot of business people over there too, who have good networks and things like that, who want to build businesses over there. So that's that kind of, sort of in our setup of what we've done. But it's also, just the cultural things that you're talking about is, as I said, when I was there, the community feel of India, that's really big over there. The training aspect of it is really big. So, they're all the things that we're going to put into place, that if somebody does want to go to India, that we've got that all set up for them. So we're just sort of in the process of seeing all that now. But anybody that's interested, sort of just let me know. But ideally it would be better if they've got some idea of real estate and all the thing, and then Shashank will take them through the legalities of that as well.
Now, okay, so now do you see yourself going past India? I mean, what does the picture look like 20 years, or when you feel like this has been a big success, what does that look like?
Yes. I mean, we've got agents, like I call our team the A team. So I've got 141 in my team now, so we call it the A team. And we're looking at growing a lot more, obviously. So we've got agents in New Zealand now. Some of our team members, Alex and Felicity, have got a few agents over there in New Zealand. We've got agents in Canada. We've got India, as I said, France, South Africa. So, we can this model, sort of overseas as well, Canada as well. So we're going to be looking to grow into Canada and America too. So, we can transfer this model anywhere, basically, as long as we've got the, the foundations like we've set up here. So at the moment, from what I've been told, there's 1.5 million real estate agents in India, of all varying, ability and capability and whatever. And so that's a market that we can tap into. So that was part of our research as to, is this viable? And as I said, it's going to be a long-term gain too. It's like long-term gain. It's kind of education and all that sort of thing, because, a lot of the real estate agents over there haven't been trained at all. So a lot of it's going to be education and all of that sort of thing, which we're prepared for, and we're getting all that put into place now as well. So, definitely, my goal is definitely to, expand into India a lot, sort of we've got our numbers and all that sort of thing. And then probably the next one after that would be Canada, I would say, that we will focus on more. So, we can do this simultaneously. And this is why EXP is great as well. If you want to come in and just list and sell in their demographic, they can. If they want to just grow into Australia, they can. If they want to do worldwide, they can. So if you've got people that have got that business mindset, it's got you covered. If you get bored easily like me, and you need different challenges, it's like my computer. I've got about 25 tabs open. That's the same as in my mind. I've got 25 tabs open, and that's the way that I operate. So if you're like that,
never boring, I can bet.
That's right. This is a great model for you, because you can have different opportunities at different time frames, different countries, with different people, and you get to learn so much about people and made great friends and all of that around the world. Like a lot of the companies, a lot of the franchises here say they're a global company, but they're not. They don't talk to each other. They might have locations in different areas, and I've been part of some of those franchises. Right. But we truly are. We have agents in other countries. We can talk on Workplace Chat. We can, all of that sort of thing. I've made amazing friends like Greg. We talk all the time. All around the world, which is amazing. So, and there's other business opportunities you can probably do from that as well outside of EXP, So it just opens you up.
One of the biggest things is, like, I think what you just said, Lisa, is very powerful, is the fact that, you take away the color, the race, the religion, you take away all of the bullshit, and you get down to a human aspect. And you start making relationships with people, because if you can put a white supremacist and a gangbanger in the same room, I will guarantee you they have more in common that they don't have in common, right? And the same thing with international business growth. I mean, people have stigmas in regards to, continents, religions,
Mhm.
ideologies, business practices, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, we all bleed red. We
Mhm.
all have hopes.
Yeah.
We all have dreams. We all have aspirations. We all have fears. And once you identify that and you isolate it and say, you know what? I hear you. I apologize for how you're feeling. Let's work together to become a better unit. I
Mhm.
mean, you
Yeah.
could be Muslim, I could be Christian, you could be Catholic, you could be Protestant. It doesn't matter what you look like or what you believe in. Let's work as a unit, as a human, as a race,
Yeah.
and let's bring something awesome to our communities. And
Yeah.
my version of awesome is going to be different than your version of awesome, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's the greatest part about it, because you identify what people are looking for, then you fill that gap, and people are moving forward in a happier lifestyle, better mindset, the whole thing. And then they can refer out, whatever industry you're in. But it starts, from my opinion, and ladies, I want to hear your thoughts on this. It comes from a state of giving. And Lisa, I know you have an amazing state of giving. Alyssa, you have an amazing state of giving. And once we understand that and start exercising that thought pattern, your lifestyle, your mindset, your emotions, your business will grow. And it can grow internationally, because everybody's thinking the same gosh dang thing. They just speak a different language and have a different culture. That's all.
And that's why I'm so excited about the Indian community. Like, I want to help them make a better life for themselves and get a better income and set themselves up and set their families up. And you know what? The Indian community is so beautiful. Like, when we were over there, I had no idea. Like, people scared me going there. They were saying, oh, this is going to happen. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. We were treated with the utmost respect everywhere we went. And they've got a saying in Hindi, I can't pronounce it, but basically it comes down to our guest is our God. And that's how they treat you. I meet people in the lift and I'd say, hey, how are you going? Where are you from? I'm from this other part of India. And I'm like, oh, I'm from Australia. Here's my phone number. If you have any trouble, here's my phone number. You let me know. Like, honestly, that happened everywhere I went over India. And, you'd meet somebody, come over to my house for dinner. I want to introduce you to my family and all of that sort of thing. Our guest is our God is what their mantra is. And it's drummed into them as a child. And we experienced that everywhere we went. And as I said to Greg, so one day we're in the slums in India, right, where there's 86,000 people with no food, no running water, like no sewage, like insane. And then the next day we're at this castle, staying in a castle, and we had tea with the Maharaja, like the royal family. That's the extreme in India. Yeah, that's right. From extreme poverty to extreme wealth, just crazy. And that's
a great divide there, right? Am I correct? There's a great divide there.
Yeah. Oh, yes. There's extreme poor, and there's a class system, and you've got, you've got the extreme wealth as well. You've got palaces, all this sort of thing. And, I just want to help those people that need help with making money and growing a business and all that sort of thing. The opportunities that we have here that we're not using, the people over there need it. To me, they need it. They will grab hold of this and run with it because they need it. They need it to eat. They need it to have a roof over their head. Whereas, we get a bit complacent over here. Like, as long as we've got enough, whatever, we're very complacent with the opportunity we have. Whereas over there, it's a necessity. It really is a necessity. They need our help. That's how I feel about it. Yeah.
You know what? Life is an ever shifting event. There's nothing solid. Everything is malleable. Contracts in real estate, relationships, business, life. I mean, fuck. You can walk outside and get hit by a bus. Knock on wood that nobody does, but it's malleable. And Lisa, I think you've done a masterful job of articulating, how you can look into another culture, see the beauty when other people are going like, fuck this place. And you're like, nah, dude, this place is amazing.
Yeah.
And I want people to start looking at other people around them at the exact same time. I went into a Hispanic supermarket today, and I had my reservations. That has no correlation in regards to India, but it goes back to looking at different cultures And I'll tell you one thing, I will go back to that supermarket time and time again because of the customer service and the respect and the honor that they showed me when I was in there, being a white guy, being a fucking dumbass, walking around going, what does that mean? Right? But you know what? Buyers and sellers are me when they're walking around a real estate transaction. Agents are walking or me walking around going like, what the fuck does this brokerage mean? And as someone who knows what you're talking about, you have a unique situation in loans for Alyssa. Lisa, you and I in real estate, we have a unique opportunity and a duty to guide, other agents, and we have a duty to guide buyers and sellers. And you're doing it on an international basis, and I view that as something absolutely incredible. In nobody,
it's a legacy thing, at this point. I think we all get to an age where it's like not about you anymore, and it's much more about what am I leaving behind. And
that's right, exactly.
That's it. I feel the challenges though can eat you up, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know what, Greg, what you said about the beauty in something, and that's exactly right. You can always find the beauty in something. Like in India, there's rubbish on the road or whatever, okay, that's just part of what's happening there now.
Well, welcome to San Francisco too.
But over here to the left, there's a monkey, swinging off a tree. Over here to the right is a little chipmunk over on the thing. There's a cow walking down the road in the middle of the highway. That's beautiful. You know what I mean? Like anything, any picture, anywhere you look, you can find beauty on it. You can find something that's interesting. That's why I love taking photos so much, because whenever I'm anywhere, I love capturing that moment. I'm always like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. I want to capture that moment. And if you look for it, you'll find it. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people would bitch about the plastic bags on the road. A lot of people would bitch about something else.
That's a big deal what you're saying, Lisa, because I was going to ask you earlier, can you give a couple tips to people on how you create a mindset that knows how to spot opportunity? And you said it, like the number one thing is you try to find the beauty in wherever you're at. I've often said that shift in perspective when you wake up in the morning and go, I have to go to here today. I have to do this. And just stopping and saying, I get to do this. I get
exactly.
Fastest shift ever. But do you have other things like that help you in situations find the opportunity rather than focus on the mud or what's going on?
Yeah. I do that all the time. It's like, what are the opportunities? What's great about this? And try and turn any negative into a positive if you can. Sometimes that's difficult, and sometimes it happens later, and sometimes it doesn't happen at all. But, to always go, if something happens, how can I make the best of this? You're always going to have setbacks in business. If you don't have setbacks in business, you're not trying. If you don't have if you don't have people bagging you, you're not trying. If you don't, have those setbacks of losing money or whatever it is, losing listings, whatever it is, losing team members, you're not trying. If you don't want any problems, then you don't do anything. You're going to end up in the graveyard. Then you don't have any problems. But it's like, you've just always got to be looking for the opportunity. So you can tell me, Greg, what actually happened? Because I don't even know what happened to you. You didn't even tell me.
I went in the hospital for alcohol withdrawal syndrome because I was drinking a handle and a half of vodka a day. Wow. And so my body shut down on me. And so I don't tell the story a lot.
I'm sorry.
They thought I had a brain bleed. I went in, I went for a CAT scan, and I just passed. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Apparently, I started fighting 4 security guards, 2 doctors, 3 nurses, and my girlfriend. And I basically beat the shit out of all of them. And they had to lock me down, put me in handcuffs, put an alarm on my bed. So if they got up, this big motherfucking Samoan bitch, this dude walked in. He looked like an earthquake just waiting to happen every step he took. And he walked in. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, nothing. Shit. What happened? So I had to sit there for 4 days after beating up the hospital staff. My girlfriend was amazing. She handled all of the finances, the doctor stuff, my friends, my family. And so I came out of it. Going like, this was glorious. I mean, I got a great rest. And she's like, you have no idea what I had to do. She had to give me sponge baths when I was passed out. I mean, it was a full blown fucking ordeal. And so when I died, I mean, I physically, mentally, and spiritually died. And I understand peace, but I also understand fighting to come back. Because once you come out of that, you realize what your friends and family and the staff around you did.
And you don't want to be going back there again. Yeah.
No.
You don't want to put them through that either. It's like
and so when it comes to the drinking thing, everybody has something they have to give up in life. It could be sex, drugs, porn. It could be, you pick your vice, right? Everybody's got a vice. Food. And so I told my girlfriend when she was sobbing in the hospital that I would never, ever, ever, ever put her through that again. Mm-hmm. And I haven't. I have not picked up a hard alcohol drink without her next to me. I have not drank hard alcohol without her. And I do this, and I tell this story for one reason. It's because when you have a good guide and a support system next to you, no, it doesn't matter how much they're mad at you. It could be that's real estate agents and lenders, right? When a buyer or seller is pissed off at you, you have to understand that you're a good guide. And Jackie was a good guide to me to get out of that. And I made a decision, and a lot of buyers and sellers make decisions on their own, but I made a decision to stop drinking hard alcohol because I never wanted to see her cry ever again based upon my actions. So and I haven't, by the way. And when it comes to our actions and building our business, figure out how not to make people cry.
Yeah, that's right.
Sweet. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
And it will morph, I think, into a thing that will make you realize. I don't know. I had two very close death to death experiences, kind of young, in my 20s, enough to where, and at 8. But I think it does something to you when you've not even close to what you've experienced, Greg, but like rushed it. It's a moment of saying, "Oh wow, like this is it." This, and the one that's got me lately is the thought that even 100 years from now, like none of us will be here. I mean, even less than that, but just the thought of wherever your grandparents are buried, you'll be buried there too, or maybe not. But like that, right. It's a moment in time. And that's kind of all we have is to be present with each other, live to what you're fully capable of. And know that it could all end tomorrow. So why not just do what you are set to do? What do you got to lose? You
have nothing to lose, everything to gain, 100%. Yeah. So based on
Greg, can I just say thank you for sharing that with us, because I know that was hard. So I appreciate you sharing that with us. And that's something else that we said too, like, on your deathbed, you want to make sure that you've taken care of your friends, your family, and all that sort of thing, and your work, and like it's your support system as well. So thank you for sharing that. That must have been very difficult. Anyway, yeah, you're a legend, Greg. Legend. Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
I couldn't have it any other way. I love the heart in you. So give us a takeaway. Give us your best. Something that if somebody's thinking that they want to build a team or join a team, but build a team internationally, kind of, what would you tell them? A couple good pieces of advice that they can walk away with, a couple nuggets.
Well, obviously, just think big, think about who you need to be to think that big as well. You know what I mean? Like to have that right mindset. So start to, watch other people, what they're doing, like, sort of big picture thinkers. Don't let people squash your dreams. Oh, you can't do that. What are you doing that for? Look at people that you can model that are doing what you want to do. Follow them. And, just make a start. Like they say, an elephant, you eat one bite at a time, just one little piece at a time. Identify what you want to do, where you want to go, and just step by step, make a plan and step by step. But if anybody wants any help, just let me know. But, I'm just really excited about the possibilities. I'm excited about changing lives over there. I'm excited about our agents and what they are going to get to do. It's just exciting. So find out your passion, find out where you want to go. You want to build an international business, find out, work out where that's going to be, if it's your heritage or whatever. And if there's any connections with anybody that you've got, like we've got the connections here in India, where can you go and what opportunities are there? There's a lot. And like Greg said, it's, all this money and all these opportunities are just going across you. You've just got to tap into them. They're all there. There's opportunities everywhere.
Yeah.
You just need to tap into them. Yeah.
That's
that.
phenomenal. That is phenomenal takeaway. Alyssa, what's your takeaway?
And what we were talking about just living to that full potential. But I think what really inspired me with you today is just the being open to possibilities and seeking out the opportunity and really having a shift in your perspective when the story you're telling yourself is that's not possible, or I couldn't do that, or that's not going to go well for me because it hasn't gone well for me in the past. Could we change that story and give yourself a chance? Like, would you tell your daughter or son at 5 years old if they said, Mom, I want to be a king, I want to be the queen? Would you say, oh, honey, probably not you. I mean, it probably won't be you. No, we would be like, get it, girl, queen, king. I love it. Can I be on it? And then some point along the way, you start to say, okay, maybe not queen. Okay, maybe I can't be a queen now because of my worth. I lost something here. Now I can only be a princess. And then I can be, but why not? Why can't we pull back in and say, what if you could be queen? But that's my takeaway. I'm gonna be queen.
But the new queen of Denmark actually was a real estate agent who was from Tasmania and met the prince in a bar in the Rocks in Sydney. She's now the queen. So any little girl that hasn't got, that wants to be a queen, it is possible. You can meet somebody in a bar in Sydney and become queen. There you go.
I'm doing it.
So
well, that goes down to your mindset of the ability of what you can achieve. And a lot of us, we put our mindset at such a low level, and we say I can only achieve blank, fill in that blank. I mean, in reality, like you said, the Denmark's new queen was a real estate agent, right? And so that could be anything. You don't have to become queen, but you can definitely become the queen of your life, the king of your life, the king or queen of your, community. I mean, you can build and grow as much as you want to. It just takes perseverance, time, education, and dedication. So if you're willing to do the really unsexy, really unfun things, you can achieve literally almost anything. Now, I wouldn't recommend become president of the United States because you're probably going to be assassinated or shot down or everything else. But
if that's your dream, we're not shooting it down.
We're not shooting it down. We're not shooting it down. Good point, Alyssa. Thank you very much for correcting me. My fault. Okay, so
we're not carrying any stories in from behind going forward. We're going to look at it with fresh eyes. Like, why not me run Denmark and get married and become a queen? Why not?
Live life
anything's possible
in your version to the fullest that you can possibly live, whatever that means. If you want to be a billionaire living in New York City, not sure why you'd want to do that, but if that's your dream, do it. If you want to, have a yogurt shop in Venezuela and surf all day long and wear flip-flops and live in a shack, fucking sweet. Do that. Live life to the fullest. Enjoy it and never apologize unless you're a psychopath. then you should go to jail. Anyways, guys and gals, all right, here we go. Lisa B, you are absolutely incredible. I love having you on. You've always been one of my favorite people to have on because you're so educated, so knowledgeable. You've trained so many agents. You're an international business entrepreneur. You're one of my best friends, and you are just growing an insane business. So I just want to personally say thank you for coming on the show. And by the way, she's a hell of a kayaker, guys. Hell of a kayaker.
And listen, before we go, right, I'm not going to say what it is, but I want you to search Gangbanger Australian, okay? Just because we have different meanings. And I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm just going to leave that thought.
I
okay?
love this intriguing. I love it.
So when we hang up, I want you to message me, right? Okay. So a lot of Americans don't know this, and it's always like I always go, "Will I tell them what it means here or not?" And I go, "No, I'll say it later." So I want you to look that up and then come back to me later.
Gangbanger Australia.
Yeah.
Google
Okay,
it.
we're gonna take a look at Gangbanger Australia.
Be careful. Yeah, anyway.
That is our takeaway for the entire show. Gangbanger Australia. Forget everything else. You guys just focus on that one. Alyssa Glutz, I got to tell you, how can people follow you? Color My Credit. You're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You do live shows.
Google gangbang. Oh, sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, Google Color My Credit. I'm sorry. Just Google Color My Credit, and we'll move on from there. It's not that kind of coloring. If you look up Urban Dictionary and see what coloring is, that's not that kind of coloring. But anyways, that'll give you a little intrigue too. Look it up on Urban Dictionary.
Right. Guys, go follow Lisa B. Go follow her everywhere. Lisa, is there a website where people can follow you?
Yeah, lisab.com.au. That one.
Okay,
it's really
there it is. Guys, go follow these incredible women. Yeah. Go follow these incredible ladies. Trust me, the reason why I like them so much is because they're intelligent, they're beautiful, they're smart, they're engaging, they're funny, they will help you. So go follow them, go follow the show, go follow me, Greg McDaniel REU, on pretty much everything. But we love you, we appreciate you, and we can't wait to see you on the next show. Until next time, peace out, ninjas. We gone.